mid, and nothing really going on. No crazy invades of either side here. TJ, are you joining me, or was that not?
Back. Sorry, I had to take a walk because of the Baron plays.
I already talked about it. But yeah, this is nothing's crazy has gone on. It was just the game started because they were mad at us for taking too long talking about the last game.
Understandable.
All right. Well, the bans for this game were lolwr banned Misfortune and Oriana, and Omega Esports banned Kennen and Aurelian Soul.
Oh, good engage. Headbutt pulverized. Tamelapse is in trouble. Will Kai back and find the root? That's actually a huge root. Very low HP on the Kaisen. First blood will be passed over to Impressive as they lock down 2 kills in this side. This Dragon Lane.
That's very unfortunate timing for a lolwr there, trying to jump in.
Really good shot from Tamelapse.
Yeah, very, very well done by him. But it's kind of they tried to jump on him at the exact moment that his team was rotating around to get on the backside and get that flank. So again, nice shot, nice route there to allow for the basically securing of the kill. But yeah, it's just unfortunate timing slash not really big. Yeah, not paying attention to the map.
I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think I would frame that actually as Omega Esports being really well set up for that. When we saw this team previously, Tamelapse and Impressive were the 2 players who really stood out. Impressive, of course, the jungler for Omega Esports. He had a Lee Sin game where he just like single-handedly got 16 kills.
Right. And did which team was the one that got one victory? That was Omega, I believe, right?
lolwr.
Oh, that was lolwr. Okay.
Sorry, Omega.
Stop confusing me.
Omega got a round off of Bigatron Infinity,
but
did lose the series 2-1.
By the way, Lee Sin died. Huh.
And so did Graves.
That's unfortunate. There's a bit of a gank in bottom lane. Unfortunately, our Greg isn't looking at it.
Down bottom, but our Graves has other things to worry about. He got fruit to eat.
Of course. In any case, I don't know if I should wait until between games to say this, but if lolwr wins this, then one snap are through to the next round, and Omega's out. So if Omega loses this, they're just out. If Omega wins, then it gets really messy. So those are the stakes here.
Yeah, Omega Esports kind of would ruin the standings of the group, make things all kinds of dangerous.
If they do win, there could be 3-2. There could be a 3-way 2-1. There could be a 3-way 1-2 if Omega does win this match. So the person liking chaos, I want that to happen. Yeah.
If Omega win, though, lolwr are almost 100% out. So
right, almost 100%. But yeah, exactly.
We have another jungle fight happening around that Dragon Lane. This time again, Impressive will fall. A rough time in the jungle as the Lee Sin dies yet again. Impressive will push further forward. Very good blocking by F2Y. The Gragas Cask will shut down Impressive's Graves. And F2Y, after getting that kill, Kite's back playing support for their Kaisa. Very well played.
I can't believe they got out of the unscathed. Really well. Maybe unscathed was a little bit much, but
that was goofy.
The POV side, the Gragas was unscathed a little bit.
Cleek will dive in and instantly get ruined. So lolwr are now down 2 different players.
He almost got that kill though. I can understand the greed. I can understand the greed when he tried to drop it. Like they're so low, get him. And I think that the Lulu's name is definitely conveying my feelings right now.
I mean, the problem is your Lee Sin and your team wants to grab this Drake. If he doesn't die, they have the Drake.
For sure.
Body slam set up. Oh, it's red. War is now in this bush. The body slam will not come out, so instead, lolwr will turn themselves towards this Drake. There is vision on it, and we'll see if Omega Esports contest. They certainly are pushing for it. Drake will be picked up successfully by lolwr. F2Y dropped to half HP. Very well played by Stronger. Really good zoning on this fight. Around the side, it's damage onto Impressive, though, who will be the first player to fall. 1-for-1 trading.
Ooh, he's
and
so low.
now the curtain call comes through. Double kill from the back of the fight. Huge plays coming out from this Jin. And all the while, guess what Arise is up to? He's tapping on that turret.
Wait. I know that Zed's pretty reasonable in the opposite lane, but why wasn't the Singe there? Okay, anyway, we'll take a look at this fight once more. Really kind of messy. The Drake was given away mostly for free. Singe kind of trying to go in the back line there, but he gets roughed up real bad. Then the Gragas tries to get away, takes a big shot there, and obviously the ult is able to finish him off in the end. But this is
This is one of the best Wild Rift Jins I've seen.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job for sure.
Really impressed with this Jin.
I don't even know where this game is supposed to go from here, though. It's just kind of too chaotic for my liking. Or actually, no, I do like it. I take it back. I do like the chaos here, but it's just kind of hilarious.
And we're already fighting over objectives, so
yeah, I appreciate it.
Big improvement. TJ will not have an aneurysm this game.
I don't know. Things were pretty fast in the last series until game number 3.
Yeah, so we go the whole while.
Things can turn on a dime here, especially when one team's up for elimination in game number 3 potentially.
There is a Rift Herald on the map. Neither team feels quite comfortable enough in their control to take it, and that is the correct call.
Yeah, Rift Herald isn't really that big of an objective to go for. It's nice if you can get it, because oftentimes it leads to a turret, but it's not 100% guaranteed. So if you don't think you can take it safely, then you're fine. Just kind of laying off it for a bit.
Poke over the wall. Good CC. 0-7T. Will be zoning in. That frontline Alistair is really scary. You can see Tamerlapse just chipping away at the meantime, though. The longer this fight goes, the better for him. Oh, 0-7 into the front lines. That engage hits the Brawl, though. Stronger just takes those hits. And thus, nothing comes of it. Rift Herald will be picked up successfully by Omega Esports as they turn their attention towards this very, very low mid-turret.
Okay, we're starting to see the strategy here for Omega Esports. They just have the Zed split pushing, and potentially we have a 1-3-1 situation with Singe going the opposite direction. And then there's just a lot of poke from the Zed just being super annoying. And if there's ever a potential engage, we have big old Braum to get in the way and just say no, no, no. So it's basically a 1-3-1 with a lot of poke from the 3, and Braum just kind of shutting down any sort of re-engage onto them.
That may be the worst Rift Herald spawn I've ever seen. I don't know, I'm angry today, but they summoned that Rift Herald on top of a minion wave, shot the turret because it was 1 HP, and then left.
Off you go.
And the leaving was right. They weren't going to get anything more out of that, but they did not need to summon the Rift Herald there because a minion wave was coming, and all they needed was some to take. They could have had the Brawl walk under the turret and killed
it. These sass is just coming out today from TJ.
Tired, I don't know. I'll drink some tea. I promise to be good.
Where you drink the tea and then spill some tea? Is that what's going on right now?
I like it. I'm glad you're down with the kids.
All right. Well, we're gonna switch perspectives here. Solosoy not really feeling too good about this. They're really not handling this 1-3-1 very well. And I feel like they just need to just jump on them. The counter, or the counter play, I should say, to 1-3-1 is just you just jump them, right? Or you try to force a team fight where you have all 5 there, and you say, "Stop doing that! Stop this stupid blitz pushing. We're gonna kill you now."
Oh yeah, gank the Zed. I don't care. That.
Yeah, this is not how you do that.
I'm being toxic again, aren't I? Arise will turn this fight into the bush. No HP on Cleek. Good Gragas barrel will make that difficult. Smart. Lose their player up top as Arise does go down. In the meantime, though, Drake was grabbed across the map.
Yeah, that was way too difficult. That was way too difficult for Solosoy to try to take out the Zed there. It took 2 players, nearly a kill, had to burn a stasis, and and then they so much opportunity cost lost in time there as the opposing side was able to take a Drake, and I think maybe a turret as well.
Yeah. Omega got a Drake, got a turret, and it is not incorrect. Like you were saying, you want to take this split push that is working so well for Omega, and Soul of Soy want to just force a team fight, because that is where their comp wins. The place you should be doing that is around the Baron or the Drake. If you start fighting either the Baron or the Drake, the other team has to respond to you or try and get turrets in the sidelines. And with the current map state, the most they could get is an inner turret, a tier 2 turret. So you take that trade. They get a turret, you get the Baron any day of the week.
Right.
So
what you don't do is what they just did. Yeah.
Chasing the split lane, particularly when the split lane is Zed, who can just walk away real fast, means that they get objectives on the map uncontested.
Exactly. It just seems like low-hanging fruit to go for them, but that low-hanging fruit suddenly just jumps into the sky randomly, and you can't reach it anymore. What if you try to reach for it? So it's not a good thing to go for.
If you can really land good CC, then this works really well if you just blow up the Zed. But if the Zed's taken up your time, it doesn't even really matter if they eventually kill Arise, because his job isn't really to get kills, isn't really to be dominant. It's just to stay in that lane and be a nuisance. That's why I actually really like what F2Y's just done. They just went back and got a teleport, and now they can take this fight, stay in lane versus Arise, and teleport into team fights that the rest of the team starts.
Yeah, I think what F2Y is doing is perfectly fine. I'm just wondering about the play from the Lee Sin here. He's always just pressuring over to the Zed. I don't think that's the right call. Here comes a teleport. So.
Baron fight. Baron about a quarter HP down, full engage. Alistair will start things off. Good Gragas cask. Flash will be burned on that Brawl as they try to get to the front of the fight. You can see this Sin just laying down so much damage, but they will get polymorphed and I think dropped low. Slain indeed by the Kaisov Killer Instinct. He will have a curtain call from the back of the fight though. Jin able to get at least one, and Arise will dive in, shutting down an Alistair round the side. Arise for big damage here, but just being burned down by the Kaiser. Moonza for 2 kills in the fight. They don't quite close it. Oof. I don't believe it. That Zed survives. Arise stays up.
Yeah, it was a 2-for-1 in favor of Big Etron, but it seemed like the Kaiser was doing so much damage and could potentially clutch that fight out. You saw at the very start of that fight, as the teleport was going through, Zed put all of his damage, even popping the ult onto the Gragas, and make sure that he had, an influence on the fight at the very start of it. That meant that Gragas couldn't really go too deep and had to back off for a moment there, even getting taken out by the Jin there in the end. But I'm just still surprised that the Kaisa didn't try to go for it. It was so tempting, and she's so buff right now.
I think that was a really good evidence of what we've been calling for, though. If Soul of Soy just force the team fights around the objectives, they're in with a shot. They win those. You can see what a Kaisa does in a team fight, particularly after a steady early game, which is absolutely what's happened.
Yeah, and she even has the Lulu to help her out as well, so it's kind of hard to jump on her. We've seen the Lulu-Kaisa combination be devastating before.
Drake is up. Here are Omega's perspective as they set up for it. Time-elapse, your Jin player on screen right now. Setting up at the very, very back of this fight. Doesn't want to be under threat, so positioning really safely, but really well. And you can see the reward. Knocks that into GA from the Lee Sin. Will the follow-up? Curtain call at range. Mountain Drake does go over to Omega. The curtain call finds so much damage. Lee Sin will fall for a second time as Arise charges forward and secures the kills. F2Y will follow. And Moonza, the star Kaisa, cannot do anything the second time around.
We've seen a lot of ups and downs from our POV here. When we for instance, we saw a very terrible Lee Sin situation earlier, but this was just godlike from this Jin. He simply cannot miss. Once he pops the ult, just members just go down. Like everything just falls before him when he goes for that.
Really, really good positioning from Time-elapse as well.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes there's a feeling when you're playing, especially something like a Jin, you're like, wow, I'm just not doing anything during this fight. I'm just AFK at the back of the fight. I need to be contributing more. And I think that anxiety gets a lot of ADC players killed. Time-elapse knows how to wait out the early burst damage in the fight, stays safe, not take any risks, until all of the engage, the Lee Sin, the Alistair has been committed, and there's nothing that can threaten him. And that's when Time-elapse comes out of hiding and starts brawling out with the auto attacks, saving the ultimate to close things down.
Yeah, and we kind of speculated that Solo Soy had a better team fight comp, but they can't just force anything, right? Omega Esports has a pretty decent comp themselves. It's just not dominating, and you saw that there, right? The Jin was still able to be a really good force in the team fight by himself.
Okay, deep dive in yet again. This is going to be 070, the Alistair, very, very low, but this time Tamerlapse is under threat. Good pickup, 070 finally falls. Nunza so far forward will be Wild Growth, that's keeping the Kaiser alive, but the deep backline dive from Arise, followed by the damage. Curtain Call will be deployed, and Tamerlapse and Co. have won another team fight.
Can they finish the game right here is the question. They're really going for it. The inhibitor is going to fall, and I believe that's it, TJ.
Yep. A very, very good game from Omega Esports as they are able to turn things round. Series of very smart objective engagements and good play from the backline Jin.
Well played indeed. There are a couple of points I want to point out for Solo Soy that they kind of fell apart there, but again, Omega.
Yeah.
Team Lapse. He is, to quote the name of his teammates, that was impressive and smart. Although they're all smart, I guess. I don't know. Wait, why are they smart?
I think it's Team Tang, but not the Team Tang they're currently flying under. That was really good. I'm really impressed by that Jin. I have to say.
I think there are a lot of I totally agree. The Jin played out of his mind. On top of it, Gragas is having a lot of problems trying to engage onto the Jin. Like it seems like he was trying to, but it's like he's crossing the street, but also not crossing the street. Like there's a little room. Should I go? Should I not go? He can't make up his mind.
Yeah.